All right, time for another episode of the Josh Cast. So I met yesterday with the co-owner of the club. I wanted to get some career advice. And, I was trying to figure out, how do I build a following? How do I get to the next level? And over the course of the hour that we talked, I think actually 2 hours, basically what she told me was you need to live more, get a life, do things. Because you have nothing to talk about at this point. So that's I'm processing that. I have to get out more. I have to live more, which I've known this for years. And I guess I was hoping I would be rich, successful, famous, and have enough of a enough of a financial support system so that then, when I went out and played, like I always wanted to avoid marriage because I feel like I should be able to afford the divorce. Call me old-fashioned. So now I'm trying to think of things that I want to do that I haven't been doing that scare me. And trying to be honest about this. And it's interesting. The first thing that came to my mind was actually trying to help the people who are in the camps on the border. That was the first thing that jumped into my head, interestingly enough. But I want to be... The thing that I don't want to do with it is I don't want to just give money to a random organization and go, all right, well, I did it. I think what I want to do is I want to help one person or one family, focus on them specifically, and then document that from beginning to end, and then tell that story. That's what I want to do. And in so doing, hopefully do it in a funny way and get more bookings from it. So, let's be clear here. I'm still the shallow opportunist. Absolutely. But, let's try to accomplish something in the process of being a shallow opportunist. Let's use my narcissistic and greedy impulse to get notoriety for good instead of evil, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So now the question is, I've got to, figure out what to do. I've also got to figure out how much that's going to cost, because it's always about money. And then I need to get to work doing it. So that's one idea. That's one thought. It would be nice to have sex again. It would be nice to do that. It would be nice to have sex again. And I recognize now that is not going to happen unless I put energy into it and I put myself out there. I'm just not looking forward to it. I'm really just not. And I just can't help but wonder if I don't know, maybe I can be okay not living. I don't know. That's an option too. maybe the not living and the regret, as bad as all that is, still might be better than dating. Has that crossed anybody's mind? See, I'm really good at rationalizing. Somebody just honked. I don't know why. I didn't see the reason. Traffic is particularly heavy this morning. Isn't that interesting? I also think I have to cut back on fruit. I've been eating a lot of fruit in an effort to quit sugar, which the quitting sugar has failed, by the way. But I think I'm eating too much fruit, so now I'm trying to modulate my diet a little bit. Try to find a balance. Have some raisins and cashews and a croissant in the morning versus apples and grapes. Everything I just said is sugar. Everything I just said is sugar. So the desire to cut down on sugar has clearly diminished. Everything I just said in that sentence. Not one thing was not sugar. Oh my God. So, yes, this notion of living more. I think the other thing I want to do, I want to go to Japan. I really do. I have no idea what I would do when I got there, though. And I don't even know where to go when I'm there. I think, and again, this is a bad reason to go to Japan, but I think I'm kind of going because I hope I'm going to run into like a Zen Buddhist who is going to help me achieve enlightenment, insofar as then I will be able to sell a comedy special, which is there's so many wrong things with that whole goal. There's so many wrong things. Being attached to the fruits of my actions. That is not the use of Zen Buddhism. The money that will be spent to go to Japan, where do you run into a Zen Buddhist? I will say, though, that what I want to do is I'm going to go for 2 weeks and then have absolutely no plan. Just walk outside the hotel and kind of just walk. Just start walking and see where it takes me. Hopefully not to death. And literally just to have zero plan. Because the traveling thing that always gets me is, there's an itinerary. You got to see this, you got to see that. The goal is to just be in a different place. And there's something about the culture of Japan. I'm probably going to end up, you know what's probably going to happen? I'll end up in a comic book store that is selling probably the exact same stuff that the comic book stores sell here. I'll go have Japanese food, which I do here. That's kind of, I kind of want to go on vacation, but I don't want to do vacation-y things. You know what would be great? Go on vacation, but have a job over there. Just a regular 9 to 5 for 2 weeks. I don't know. Do they do 9 to 5, or for them is it, well, what I always hear about Japan is everyone overworks. So is it, 10 to 10? That actually sounds... So go there and actually make the money back that I'm spending to go there. Like I want to go be a temp in Japan for 2 weeks. Do the work, have lunch, do the work again. Just, be there. That I feel like I'm not wasting money. Because what am I going to go do the touristy things? What am I going to go look at? Go look at the monkeys in the hot tub thing? I don't need to see that. There's hot springs, and they have the monkeys who hang out in the hot springs somewhere in the mountains. I saw it on YouTube. I don't need to be near a monkey. And I don't think the monkey... You know what? Even more importantly, I don't think the monkey needs me to be. I don't think the monkey needs me to be near the monkey. I think the monkey's fine. I don't think there's a tribe of monkeys in Japan going, you know what we need right now? A neurotic Jewish man who's having a midlife crisis at 37. That's what's missing in this picture. Yeah, all right, so I got to do that. What else do I got to do? Basically, I've been waiting to live my life until all the conditions of my life were perfect. And now I'm beginning to see that that is perhaps not working. And so now I need to turn it around, live my life first. That's the risk. I'm trying to do everything without taking any risks. And I got to do the opposite. I got to start taking the risks. That's what I got to do. That's what I've got to do. So, what now? Well, now, what now? Right. So now how does that affect this podcast? Well, when I initially started this podcast, the idea was, I want to do stand-up every day. And, most of the time I'm getting, 3 to 5 minute sets. And I want this to be an opportunity to do stand-up. So I want to, if that's all I want to focus on, then this podcast it's 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute spot. That's what it is. 20 minutes of me doing stand-up in front of nobody. In the hopes that if I find enjoyment out of it, that somehow, as I keep putting it out there, some way, over time, the audience will find me. There's several things wrong with this business model. But I think the one thing that's right about the business model is I have to find the enjoyment in this. So the question is, what am I finding enjoyment in? Well, I think finding the humor. It's because I heard this thing that I always go back to in one of the improv classes I took. Don't invent, discover. So maybe it's just the joy of discovering the humor that's already there in my life. Maybe that's what it is. It's discovering. It's like Star Trek, except instead of being in constant danger, I am just going, oh, look at that funny thing that happened to that other person that's not me. Or look at that funny thing that happened to me that I can talk about now because I have insurance. Same thing. See, it's really the same journey when you put two and two together. So, that is what's happening. But I got to keep going here. I got to keep going. I haven't arrived at my destination yet. I got to keep talking. What else scares me? You know what? I want to have sex with a woman, and I might want to try it with a guy. That's scary. That is scary. I'm not even sure where to start. Yes, the websites, the Grindr app stuff, but I don't want to do the dating apps. But I've got to approach this somehow. I gotta handle this. I gotta deal with this. Gotta figure this out. The only way to figure it out is to just hunker down, which may not be the right phrasing to use in this particular topic. I think the other thing that's important in this is that I have to be the one who initiates, because that's the thing I'm terrified of doing. More terrified, letting the person come to me is one thing, or just reacting to somebody coming to me. I think I have to initiate it. I just have to get used to it. And maybe the way to handle this, because my fears are, like, I don't want to cross the line. I don't want to, be accused of sexual harassment in any way. So maybe the way to handle this is that should be my opening line. Look, I don't want to be accused of sexual harassment here. I have feelings for you. If you are not interested, let me know, and this will discontinue immediately. And it will never be spoken of again. That's the approach. Are there problems with this approach? Oh, yes. Is it sexy? Is it flirtatious? I don't care. So these are all the things I'm afraid of doing, that I've been hesitating. I remember this in the other one I talked about is I want to shoot a special. That's the other one I want to do. I want to shoot a special. And I think I gotta talk about losing my virginity. And I think the special has to be a 1-hour charting of my sexual history. So the question is, how do I take 2 minutes and stretch it into an hour? Hey-ho! Punchlines, it's all about the punchlines. That is what I have to... Ow! I hit a red light where it normally never does a red light. Who hit the crosswalk? Who did it? It normally never hit a red light on this. Right by the pet store. Exotic fish, reptiles, and birds. That was the pet store that I walked. I think I walked by that pet store once. And they had a chameleon on display, and I was looking right at it, and it didn't change colors. And I took it personally. Because I felt the chameleon was saying, I don't find you threatening at all. Here, in fact, I'm going to stand out even more. What are you going to do? Come on, bring it on. I feel no need to hide from you. Well, yes. Well, will wonders never cease? That's from the musical She Loves Me. I played the role of the waiter in that in college, which was a comedic role. It was an uptight anal waiter. So, not much of a stretch, really. God, it was, now that I think about it, it was perfect dead-on casting. It was an obsessive-compulsive anal waiter. It was such a weird... little role in it, because it was only one scene, and it was a very short song. Let's see if I can remember it. Butterfingers, do that again. That's the end of your career. I'm chastising another waiter for dropping something. And it was such a weird transition in the musical, because it was right before one of the other supporting characters, like the way that happens, one of the supporting characters tries to kill himself. He tries to shoot himself. And the shot becomes the transition for this other waiter dropping a plate, and then I start singing this funny song. Butterfingers, do that again. That's the end of your career. And so we go from suicide to funny song. It was quite an interesting juxtaposition that felt weird then and feels weird now. Yes, She Loves Me, which is the same story that You Got Mail is based off of. Because I think they're all based off of a play, I want to say. Two people fall in love with each other via mail, but they know each other in real life. And the guy finds out that the pen pal is the girl before the girl finds out, and then it's a whole thing, and then they end up together in the end, and it works out. That's what happens. I'm pretty sure they're going to fold it into the Marvel Universe. All right. Well, I'm at my destination. It was 20 minutes, 22 seconds. Sorry I ran the light.